Hello and welcome. My name's Arcadian, the #1 dumpster tier gamer. Guys, I am bringing you this video today first to say thank you. We have finally done it. Finally, one of my videos has officially hit 5 likes. Not to mention the fact that the 81 views across on my first Let's Play video. Holy crud, guys! What are you guys doing? This is awesome. I love to see it. I'm so happy that you guys are enjoying the content. Um, 81 views, that is the highest number of views across any video that I currently have uploaded, or that I have uploaded in my entire time uploading videos. I've got like 147 videos or something like that, and 81 views is just so awesome. Thank you so much. We have reached a new achievement for the channel, which is we have managed to hit 1,000 views across all of my content, which is awesome. Guys, that is so cool to see. In fact, we've actually gotten 1,290 views so far. A total watch time hours of 173.4 hours. And we are now up to 26 or 27 subscribers. I'm not 100% sure. It's one of those two. I think I just picked up another subscriber on my last video. Guys, I could not do this without you. You guys are awesome. Thank you for that. If you guys do enjoy the content, please continue to keep liking and subscribing to support the page, and I will keep bringing you content to watch. So with that being said, we are going to jump back into our Skyrim Legendary Survival Let's Play with Coneric, and we will start our video. Thank you for joining me, guys. My name's Arcadian, the #1 dumpster tier League of Legends player. We are back into it, playing some more, doing some more work with Coneric. We have completed up to Bleak Falls Barrow. So that's where our next goal is to hit Bleak Falls Barrow. In this time, we have gotten ourselves started. We've picked up a couple spells that will help to make this next portion a little easier. On top of that, we've also managed to stack ourselves up with a little bit of gold. And then we've also got our fur armor. So, what we need to do next is, besides the fact that we've got these that we have to sell eventually, we'll get to that. What we need to do next is we need to make sure that we are fully prepared to fight with the snowy area around Bleak Falls Barrow. The best prepare for that, we want to step over here to what's called Pine Watch. Now, we're not going to completely clear out Pine Watch because there is possibly some side quest stuff that may relate to that later. It's kind of hit or miss whether they do relate to it or not. But with that being said, we are going to head over there and basically just deal with the entrance. We want to enter Pine Watch into that very kind of first area, maybe take out 1 or 2 guys, but not completing the area entirely. The other thing that we could possibly do is, let's go ahead and do that real fast. Anniversary Edition offers a lot of extra add-ons to the game. Like, for example, we've got the backpack, which adds to our carry weight. We've got survival, which attains to our ability to complete the game with sleep, food, and hot and cold, how we deal with the hot and cold environments. One of the things that is added on is a different horse option. So we have, for example, if we were to give this guy here 1,000 gold, we could take this horse right here, which is not a bad deal. 1,000 gold for a horse. These horses are very sturdy, and they make good traveling companions. However, instead, if you come over here and buy a wild horse map for 250 gold, that will allow you to find and tame horses out in the wild. And these horses are different types. Like this one here, this is, I believe, considered a black horse, even though he's kind of a brownish color. But you can find some like unique colored horses that you don't get as an option to buy from vendors. For example, there is one that's right over here. So let's go over here. Let's kind of bring back our. There he is, right there. This is a red horse. So we can go ahead and we can grab him and attempt to tame him. Now, if we just run right at him, he's going to run away. So we've got to be quick about this because he's just going to run away. We want to try to catch him and ride him. Alright, so now we've started the taming process. So wild horses will buck until they're tamed. Stay mounted until they submit. If you are thrown, try again. Once tamed, you can add a saddle and rename them at any stable. When changing horses, tamed horses will return to the location where they were found. So this is going to be... Oh, he threw us off. So we basically got to try to stay on him until he is fully tamed. Now you do got to be careful about this because sometimes you will take damage for being thrown off. So you got to be careful and make sure that you're fully healed up before you jump on him again, so that you don't you can actually die from being thrown from the horse. So get back on him and just kind of walk around. Just a little light walk. He threw us off again. And we basically do this until he gives up. And hope he doesn't run us into like a hostile creature or anything. Hey, I managed to stay on that time. So just walk around a little bit until he decides not to buck anymore. And he's mine. Okay, so he has been officially tamed. Now, if we wanted to make him our permanent horse, then we would just go up here to the stable, put a saddle on him, and name him. We don't want to do that, because he's only going to be a kind of a temporary horse for us. We will go to, we want a more unique horse for our actual steed, which we will get later. So this is nice. What the horses allow for, it allows for faster travel, because even though they don't run super fast, they do still run faster than your character running. Also, they run for longer. They are hardier than your stamina cap. So they will continue to run for a long time until eventually their stamina is depleted. Now we hopped off right here for a second because we are about ready to go into a little bit of combat. I think we want to go this way. There's a wolf right up here. Oh, I missed him. There we go. Alright, we'll leave our horse there for a second. We'll come get back and get him. But there's a lot of random encounters that can show up here. For example, like that one up there. That is a wizard fighting a Atronach, and I believe they're both going to be aggressive to us. Yep, or witch fighting an Atronach. Okay, so there's her taken out. Now we want to fight the Flame Atronach. without getting hit, because she will actually hurt us quite a bit if she hits us with those fireballs. Oh, there we go. Now we can get the fire salts from her, which are, it's a big item to have. It's a really good ingredient to have. So why is fire salts important? Well, especially in survival mode, you can use the fire salts to, oh, I didn't realize we had taken some damage from the wolf. You can use the fire salts with the food ingredients to make hot bowls of soup, which will greatly increase your warmth after consuming them. So those are definitely very helpful, especially if you can get the ingredients to make, like, for example, like the vegetable soup. The hot vegetable soup is amazing. So we got a combatant here. We got to be careful not to involve Faendal too much into the damage. Friendly fire is a problem. And if we hurt Faendal, then it makes it to where either, like, he can't die unless we friendly fire him, or he will turn against us if we hit him too consistently, and we don't want to do that. Archers are typically pretty easy to take care of. You just kind of dodge and weave and avoid their ranged attacks. We'll grab these, grab the cabbage, grab the leeks. Leeks are important as always. This chest here usually has just chump change and stuff like that in it, so nothing crazy. Some potions, not bad. You can grab these salmon here. If you have salt piles, you can make salmon meat. Which is a nice ingredient, or a nice food item to have. We just picked up some salt piles, so we're going to probably go ahead and do that. I don't want to overstock on cabbages. Very easy to do. And search her, grab her iron arrows, lockpicks, hide armor. Alright, now, see, if you look at Faendal here, he is wearing just regular clothes, which typically is okay for your follower. However, we're playing on legendary difficulty, so we are going to give him some armor to wear. The more armor he has, the better option, or the better chance he has of staying alive for us. So we'll give him the hide armor and the hide boots. We're going to keep the fur stuff for us. Coldness doesn't affect them like it does us, so... Alright.
You lead, I'll follow.
I got scared there for a second. I was playing with some mods before that, a collection of mods that was probably would not have been a good collection to have.
Boss was looking for you, said he'd be up at the summit. Better not keep him waiting.
Okay, so we need to fight this guy. We just got a few things that we need to get in, or one thing in particular that we need to get in here. We could grab this iron armor to give it to Faendal. I'm not too worried about it. Let's grab these. Oh. I know I said I wasn't, I'm not going to focus on ingredients. I shouldn't. It's kind of hard not to. One ingredient in here that we will grab, though, is these imp stools. Imp stools are extremely important for a very good potion to have. Not a power potion. Power potions are ones that have multiple effects and that you kind of want to sell. These potions, the imp stool potions, is for a paralysis potion, which is really, really big. Paralysis potions are extremely powerful in this game. And if you can get a bunch of imstools, which I believe there's like 27 in this cave, um, that will lead to having a bunch of paralysis potions that you can use for some of these tougher fights that you will fight, especially in this difficulty. So we're gonna grab the ones that we can. We don't want to. We're gonna try not to grab the attention of the guys back there in that back room. This is what we came in here for, though. This right here, this fur helmet. Like I said before, fur armor, or most fur armor, provides the highest warmth rating of any other armor that you can get, but it has the lowest weight. So having a full set of fur armor is very nice to have because you can literally just put it on. Look, I mean, we've got 6 weight on this one, 7 weight with the bracers, 8 weight with the fur helmet, 9, 10 weight for the fur shoes. And if you put all of these on, you have a total warmth rating of 156. That is massive. That is, I think, the highest you can get without having potions or ingredients or like hot soups or whatever to kind of boost that up a little bit more. So this will help us to stay extremely warm in those colder environments. So now that we have those, that's what we wanted to grab, was that fur helmet there. And we can go ahead and head over to Riverwood, sell a little bit more stuff before heading up to Bleak Falls Barrow. If you are doing the alchemy grind, you can actually go ahead and collect the salmon roe from the fish in this waterfall and in these waterfalls, and then collect them, get some Nordic barnacles, some garlic, and you will be able to get your alchemy up extremely high very early. Alright, so now we've got our horse, we've got our fur helmet. Let's take a run over to Riverwood. One thing that the survival mode mod does, or the Creation Club content for survival mode, is it takes away fast travel. If you're not playing this game on survival mode, you can literally go anywhere you have already been by simply clicking on the area, like so for example here, click on Riverwood, and then we would have the option to fast travel to Riverwood. Same for Anise's cabin, the Guardian Stones, Embershard Mine, so on and so forth. So any location that you've already been before, you will be able to fast travel to. However, since we are playing on survival mode, it does take away the ability to fast travel. Fast travel inside the survival would just kind of break the survival concept. The goal is to be able to live off the land or find ways to survive through the harsh environments. If you could just fast travel out of those environments, then you wouldn't have that. You wouldn't have to worry about it. Like it would be a moot point. Oh, we got a courier here. He's gonna want to give us some stuff. So we're gonna stop here.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Okay. So looking at my notes, we wanted to get a free axe in Riverwood. Come over here. You can grab this woodcutter axe right here, completely free. That's a good addition to have. Check these barrels real quick. I didn't realize we had been injured again. Need to pay closer attention to that because we could get ourselves in some trouble there. Good, we got the level up, so we're going to be able to rest and get that level up. I don't need the bucket. Alright, so, actually, Faendal has some wood on him,
Still
doesn't
here.
he?
What do you want me to carry?
He does not. Okay.
Let's get going then.
So we're going to chop some wood here. Now, chopping this wood is actually very beneficial for us. For two reasons. A, we will be able to turn this wood into a campfire, which is what I was explaining in the last video. Campfire, you can set them up outside and in a cold environment and get a fire in which to warm yourself up at, as well as a place to rest, and you can cook some rudimentary meals there as well. The other thing firewood is good for is to make arrows. So if you're an archery character, you will be able to take that firewood and mix it with like iron ingots. Like for example, like this stuff up here, these iron ingots, steel ingots, and you'll be able to make bows, or be able to make arrows, which in survival, it is always good to have that option to be able to make. Now, we want to get this thing right here, this camping supplies. Takes 3 firewood and a leather. We'll go ahead and make 2 of those. Those are excellent because we'll be able to put those down outside. If we get overly cold while we're up here, which I don't think we will need it, but if we get overly cold while we're up here, we can place down a campfire and rest and get our warmth back. But the main reason why we have them is for when we go up here to High Hrothgar. So for now,
Still here. What do you want me to carry?
we're going to give these to Faendal because they do weigh quite a bit and we don't want to have to carry them around everywhere.
Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage?
Let's sell what we can here. We'll keep the woodcutter axe. Sell 1 for armor, 1 for shoes. We don't need multiples of those. Leather, wolf pelt, we don't need those at the moment.
Good day.
Come over here. We're going to do 2 things here. First of all, we're going to talk to Lucan, and sell to him. He's got 780 gold left. So anything that is... We already have that enchantment, so we don't need to keep that. We can look at that here in a second. Keep those. Keep that. Sell that. Okay, so now we can come down here and sell the water breathing potion. Okay, so the other thing that we want to do to him is we want to ask, did something happen?
Yeah, we did have a bit of a break-in, but we still have plenty to sell. Robbers were only after one thing. An ornament, solid gold in the shape of a dragon's claw.
I could help you get the claw back.
You could? I've got some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back. Now, if you're going to get those thieves, you should head to Bleak Falls Barrow, northeast of
Hey, we're
town.
going there anyway.
Yes. So now you don't have to go.
So we don't have to talk to him to instigate this quest. We can actually just go ahead and grab the claw and then bring it back here, but he's going to give us a decent amount of gold for doing that. And since we're going up to Bleak Falls Barrow anyway, we're going to get the golden claw anyway. We might as well just go ahead and start everything up with him. Next up, before we head up the mountain, we are going to get some rest. This will give us the well-rested bonus.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Oh, that's the other one.
And the braggart did swagger and brandish his blade as he told of...
So we're going to sleep until morning. You want to try to sleep until at least daylight. If not a little bit later. That will help you a lot when it comes to keeping your warmth as you travel. So this gives us our level up, as well as gives us the well-rested bonus, which I'll explain that as soon as we can get to look at it. Give me 1 second here. We've got 150 magicka. We want to take that all the way up to 200. And we can grab Mystic Binding, which is huge. And let's go Fighting Stance. So the reason why I chose these two particular is because in Legendary, as you gain levels, if you spend too many perks in side pieces, like for example, if we were to put perks in Alchemy and potions, and this is kind of a bad example. Let's instead choose, like for example, if we were to put perks into Speech, Speech does not affect our combat prowess. So if you put too many perks in a side piece like Speech, then you're not going to be able to handle the higher level combat. Same goes for like lockpicking, or smithing doesn't directly entangle your combat prowess. It can from side, like a side angle, but not directly. So by putting the points into Conjuration, into Mystic Binding, bound weapons do more damage. That allows our bound sword to do way more damage than the Steel War Axe. Before, the bound sword was equal in how much damage it did compared to the Steel War Axe. The only difference was that the Steel War Axe weighed more, so the bound sword swung faster. Now, the Steel War Axe does 14 damage. Our bound sword does 23. That is equal to that of it's got the same base damage as a Daedric sword, with 0 weight to it. So we're able to swing this thing faster than the Steel Axe and also do more damage than the Steel Axe, which is why we put that perk point in. The other perk point we put in was in our one-handed. Now, typically you would want to put it down here. We unfortunately can't put any more points into Armsman yet. This is your direct line to damage inside of this tree. The more points you have into Armsman, the more damage your one-handed weapons do. We put it into Fighting Stance because this one, power attacks with one-handed weapons, cost 25% less stamina. So you take into, for example, the less stamina that it costs to do a power attack, the more power attacks you get to do. Let's take our Steel War Axe here. As you can see, it takes it's roughly about half of our stamina to do a power attack with the Steel War Axe, okay? With the bound sword, on the other hand, it takes about a quarter of that. Maybe more, about a third. And it does more damage. So it takes a third of our... Yeah, 1, 2, 3. It takes about a quarter of our stamina bar to power attack with that one. Whereas with the axe, it takes half of our stamina bar. So the more power attacks you can do, the more damage you can do. Alright, so let's go ahead and eat to get our well-fed bonus. There we go, we are well-fed. Also, I wanted to hit on the well-rested. So right here, fatigue, well-rested, all skills improve 10% faster. This is just like in Starfield. So if you rest for, I think it's like anywhere between, if you rest inside anywhere between 2 and 4 hours or more, you get the well-rested bonus. This will allow all of your skills to increase or improve 10% faster. This also makes it to where if you rest inside, it's longer until you get fatigued, which will, when you're fatigued, it decreases your magicka until you're critically fatigued, which you can eventually die from. So fatigued, awesome. We're well rested. We're fine there. Hunger, we are well fed. again, that's going to be great. On top of that, we have resist frost. Our Nord blood gives us 50% resistance to frost. This is part of being a Nord, which also includes helping us to deal with the warm environment. Because you are 10% more, because we are Nord, we are 10% more resistant to frost, which allows us to this is just a warm bonus. Because we're warm, we're now 10% more resistance to frost. So between the two of these, we have a 60% resistance to frost, which will also help us to avoid being cold as we travel in the colder environments. Now, how much that helps us to avoid cold? Not a lot, but it does do something. I'm going to leave the horse here. And we are going to go ahead and switch it up into our fur gear. The rainy environment does kind of hurt us a little bit because that helps to take away our warmth a little bit quicker. Typically, we could have gone at least up like part of the way up this hill before we would have started to get deal with a little bit of cold. That's so we are off to Bleak Falls Barrow. We will have to make a quick pit stop at a lookout tower. Our magicka's regenerated, so I'm going to recast Bound Sword. So the reason why we do this is every time you cast the Bound Sword, as soon as that sword is seen by an enemy or an enemy sees you with that sword, then it will start to build your experience towards in your conjuration. However, if one enemy sees this cast, then that's the experience you get for this cast. You don't get any extra experience. So, you recast the Bound Sword when you have the ability to. That way, new enemies see the new cast, and you're able to gain more experience. What I did there was a Fury spell. Fury allows enemies to fight each other. So by doing that, I managed to get these guys to aggro on each other. So the archer is hitting the two-handed warrior here with her bow, which is dealing damage to her or dealing damage to him without dealing damage to me. So you can make these guys fight each other, and then that way they will be able to help you take each other out. So we got to be careful here because there is a boss enemy that's he's coming down. He's not really like a boss, but he is. Like he's got full heavy armor. He's going to do a lot more damage. So we want to make sure that we are being careful not to over encumber ourselves with combat. Feindal's on point with those arrows, dude. He set them straight. Full iron armor, too heavy to carry around. Studded armor, it hits our points. Hunting bow, Feindal's already got that. Steel arrow, I think he's already using that. So we will... Oh, not the lantern. I wanted the gold. Yeah, we don't need the steel arrows. We grab the fur bracers. If it comes to it, we can drop those. They're only 1 to 10, which is, it's high, but it's still just 1 to 10. If we can get something with better. We got some tomatoes there. Some more tomatoes there. 7 tomatoes, 3 potatoes. We've got 1 cabbage. Let's go ahead and grab the 5 here since we got 7 tomatoes to work with. There we go. So a quick pick stop just gives us a couple extra pieces, stuff to work with. There's an iron ore vein down there if you're looking to start smithing right away. We won't be doing that till later. We don't want to spend a whole lot of time around here because we are trying to stay warm. Snowberries is a good point of that. This has a resist fire and effect on it. They will allow you to stay warm for a little bit longer. Okay, we are going to Fury this guy. Have him help us fight the other 2 guys that are up here. Grab that. Grab oak flesh. See, they're already aggroing each other. And while they fight each other, let's try to focus this archer here. Quick save. Try to avoid there. We're already starting to get cold, so we got to be careful here. Okay, so took out the archer. Oh, two-handed weapon guy. So he won out. We got to be careful. This guy will hurt us a lot. Yep, there it is. Ah, 2 hits. Like I said, he does hurt us a lot. Now, we would have a little bit more magicka to work with here if we were wearing our proper gear, if we were wearing our actual, like, mage gear. However, we don't have that option because it is so cold up here. We do not want to put ourselves in a bad situation. So, take him out a little bit so that we can kill him with 1 hit. Grab these things and other archer. There we go. Quick and easy. So the common misconception is that magic is weak in Skyrim. And if you're playing a pure destruction mage, it can be, especially on legendary difficulty. However, it's really, in my opinion, I've played pure mages on more than 1 occasion. It's one of my favorite ways to play Skyrim. It is really, comparatively speaking, it can be weaker than like a stealth archer, obviously. But all in all, for overall power, I think that the pure mage is still a very strong and viable way to play the game. You just have to play it a little smarter. You can't just run into combat, you actually have to prep the battle. So a good example is these 2 up here. Stealth archer, I can hit sneak mode, I can start pelting them with arrows. By the time they come up to me, they'll probably be close to dead. A warrior playstyle, I just run in the middle of them and just literally just try to attack and slaughter them before they can really do much to me. A mage, if I were to do the first option and just try to sneak attack, well, first of all, I could hit them with elemental flare, and you know what, let's do this. So we will start with the destruction mage style. So let's quick save here. And let's see how well we do. Oh, the game, too much going on. Did it like, the game fully froze. Uh-oh. Alright, give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm back. I don't know what caused that. My computer should be able to run this as well as OBS all at the same time, even on ultra hard or ultra quality. So I don't know what caused that, but anyway, let's get back to this fight. It would help if I hit all of my spells here. So, as a pure mage, we were able to blast through these guys. Now, at my current level, having elemental flare kind of helped with that. If I was just using my flame spell, which is super close range, this fight would have gone a completely different direction. I would have been right up in the middle there, and they would have killed me very quickly. So the other option is, and if we go ahead and load, so that was easy enough for these enemies. These are very low level, easy enemies to defeat. There's a bandit outlaw that we would be fighting later on that it would not be that easy. So by playing the game smarter, you set up, and it didn't actually work out very well here because he ran right to us. You would play the game smarter by getting yourself ready, by causing them to fight each other first, or getting them to fight a summoned creature that you pull into the fight. And therefore being able to keep the pressure off of you, which is the better option when you're fighting these guys. So now we can go in. It's only one-on-one now. We're going to win that one-on-one. And there we go. But as you saw, these guys are fairly weak enemies, so we actually would have been able to deal with this in the destruction style. Flames would have been a little bit more difficult. However, as long as you make sure that you're staggering your flame spell like I showed you in the first video, which is that you're doing this little thing right here, you'll eat through their health fairly quickly. It's just a matter of trying to stay alive and safe while you're doing that. We are inside now, so we can go ahead and take these off and put on our combat gear. Okay. Yeah, there's a bandit outlaw that we're gonna fight here in a couple, like a minute or so. That he actually will give us a bit of a struggle, just because he does more damage and he can tank more damage. So you got to make sure that you're being very careful about how you engage with him. And I think this will be a good example of let's go ahead and do this. This will be a better example of how to handle how a pure mage does kind of feel weak. So we're staggering, we're taking damage. He did a lot of damage off that hit. If he hits us with a power attack, we're dead. As you can see, even the one standard attack did half our health. We pulled him into Feindal, so Feindal will help us to take him out a little bit easier. But if you look, like, how much we have to do to whittle his health down. So having Feindal there, if we would have been alone fighting him like that, we would have lost that fight. No doubt about it. There's no chance we would have survived that. Elemental Flare, we may have been able to do something, but I still think we would have lost it in the long run. So the real way to do this fight would be to summon a conjured Atronach right there in the room with him, let him target the Atronach, and then once he targets the Atronach, then we can go in and fight him and try to take him out. So the Pure Mage playstyle can be played on Legendary difficulty. You just got to be a little bit smarter with how you do your engagements. So I'm just going to go ahead and switch these. This is Snake, Snake, Whale. These little pedestals allow you to activate this lever and open up that gate. The way to know the combination for that is that there's a snake up there. There's a spot for one right there, which actually fell down here. It's still a snake. And then the whale up there. And there you go. Come up here. We can go ahead and grab this pickpocket book. Since we are not looking to actively train up our pickpocket, I'm okay with just grabbing this book here. This is cool. So this is Fire Arrow. This is part of the Curious Curiosities or something CC Club or Creation Club content. They give you the ability to have different elemental damage arrows as well as a magic arrow that you can imbue spells in. So these fire arrows, we're actually going to give these to Faendal since he is our archer guy. If we give him these fire arrows, he will have an infinite amount of fire arrows to fire at our enemies, which is going to do a lot more damage than if he was just to continue using the steel arrows. So make sure he did not equip them right away, which is unfortunate. I guess that's because he has his knife out and not his bow.
I've got your back. What do you want me to carry?
So we got to figure out a way to make him equip the bow. We take the bow and re-give him the bow. There we go. But he's still using his steel arrows. Oh, I didn't realize grab the steel arrows. He should be able to use the fire arrows now. I forgot there was guys down here. Nope, he's still using steel. Or he's using iron now. Okay, so let's give him...
I've got your back. What do you want me to carry?
He's not wanting to use those for nothing, is he? Now he's got the iron arrows equipped, that's all he's going to use. No, he switched back to the steel. Okay. Okay, so we did level up. However, we do not... I mean, we could go back to the front of the cavern, or to the front of Bleak Falls Barrow and use one of their... Ooh, let's give that to him.
I've got your back. What do you want me to carry?
You'll put those on, and that'll up his damage a little bit. Anyway, we could go back to their little campfire thing at the beginning, and they've got sleeping bags there. We can use the sleeping bag to level ourselves up. I'm not really worried about it at the moment. Okay, so this fight can be troublesome, especially considering Faendal is a ranged character, so he's not gonna really grab the spider's aggro. So we need to summon something to grab the spider's aggro. I guess we will probably go ahead and go back and get the level up. Our conjuration is going to level up a lot in this dungeon, just because of the fact of our bound sword doing so much. Our bound sword gives us so much experience. It's one of the most experienced conjuration spells compared to total magicka. Let's see if we can resummon a guy behind. Nope, it's going to be blocked by the web. That's fine.
It's coming loose. I can feel it.
We're going to cut him down. He's going to try to run.
You fool. Never should have come.
So we're going to grab his... Yeah. So this guy, if we would have talked to him, he said, cut him down. He knows the secret to the temple. If we cut him down, he'll share the secret with us. And then he was just going to run away, so I just went ahead and took him out. Let's give
Still here.
you...
What do you want me to carry?
The hide helmet. What's our carry weight? 175 out of 225. We should still be alright. Let's go back and get the level up. That will also, it'll reset our well-rested bonus. It'll only give us the rested bonus, but it should at least give us that for when the well-rested falls off. The rested bonus will take over. I'm not sure if that's exactly how that works. So we'll continue in Magicka. We want this to be 250 with the extra stuff that we have in it, which will come out to about, which will come out to 200 if we were to take those things off. I think points wise, we need to put this one, we need to put this one into alteration, because the Oak Flesh spell on top of the Bound Sword spell, the two of them together is using a lot of our magicka, almost all of our magicka. So having that and the Oak Flesh, we should have at least a quarter of our magicka left afterwards. Let's double check that math here. Actually, it might be even more than that. Oh yeah. So now we've got 3/4 of our magicka left over after we've casted both of those spells. So we can still cast Atronach afterwards if we need to. Which there's a few places in this dungeon that we will need to. There's a few places in this dungeon that there are... So, the enemies of Skyrim will level with you. Now, there are certain enemies that do have level caps. For example, regular bandits have a level cap. And they will never level beyond that level cap. Bandit outlaws have a little bit higher of a level cap. So, as we continue on through, the more powerful enemies will have a higher level cap and will fight harder. One of the enemies that we're getting ready to fight are Draugr, or they're basically Skyrim's undead. The actual lore behind Draugr are they were the the lesser initiates of the dragon cult. So you have the dragon priests who ruled the dragon cult, or I should say, you had the dragons who ruled the dragon, or who ruled all of Tamriel. The dragon priests were their human surrogates who covered the day-to-day rule, the stuff that they were in control, while the dragons just kind of were the masters of all. So the Draugr are members of the dragon cult that decided to take, or were enchanted or whatever, to give their life force, we contracted bone rot, to give their life force to the dragon priests, to keep the dragon priests basically immortal. Nope. See what I mean by, like, these guys do hurt us. They can kill us. I kind of played that one a little bad, so we're going to do this again, but try to do it better. First of all, I want to conjure up a Atronach there to help us deal with all three of them, because there are 3 enemies there, which can be kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. Oh, we need to eat. I don't want to eat anything too substantial. I want to make sure that if we're going to eat something that's going to, like the brook bass or something, that we can make use of a good majority of the hunger. It's late, guys. I'm getting tired. But we'll finish this dungeon at the very least, if not the dragon. We may do the dragon on the next one. I unfortunately have to be up early for my second job. I work 2 jobs. So I gotta be up fairly early to deal with that, or to go do that. As much as I would like to sleep in and enjoy my weekends, gotta do what I gotta do to support my family. Okay, so we'll grab this here. Grab this here, out of range of the Draugr so that we don't immediately wake them up. Come down here, summon the Atronach, which will draw their attention. They will now wake up. And then grab Elemental Flare. So now the Draugrs should focus the Atronach. And not me. That's 2 of them down. Last one over here. Done. There you go. Like I said, you gotta do it smarter. You don't want to just run in all gun-ho, like I did the first time. You gotta play it a little smarter. Oh, that was steel. Does that? That is better. Alright. This here is a trap. You step on this, and that's gonna activate the door. Let's see if we can do it without killing ourselves here. Oh. And that will kill you very, very, very easily. So you got to be careful not to let that hit you. However, we can use that to help us deal with these guys. Or this guy. These next few fights. So we hit him here. And then we draw him. It looks like Feindal's not going to run. Oh, Feindal's going to knock himself out. That's unfortunate. There we go. It does hit him. Does so much damage. And makes this fight trivial. And that's a restless Draugr too. So remember when I talked about enemies having higher level caps? A regular Draugr fairly weak. They typically are okay. They can be a problem when there's multiple of them, but typically they're fairly weak. A restless Draugr, on the other hand, has a slightly higher level cap and can hurt you quite a bit. So you kind of have to deal with everything in moderation. So this next area that we are going to fight in has 3 enemies, one of which is a restless, and the other 2 are just regular Draugrs. Oh. The restless didn't wake up. Oh no, he did wake up. It's just a regular Draugr this time. I guess because of the level that we're at, it didn't give us the restless Draugr in here. All right, we're making our way through. The next danger we have to face are these things. These are pendulum swing death things that will kill you if you're not careful. Just time your run through. Try not to let it do too much damage. Get that. Get that. Get that. And start the fight. So these parts we probably could do without Faendal. Fire on the floor doesn't hurt the Atronach, but will hurt the Draugr. Using these traps to take out these enemies or make these fights a little bit easier. Oh, we are in trouble now. That two-handed attack will hurt. We want them to hit the Atronach and not us. So as long as you're smart about how you do it, you can get through legendary difficulty fairly easily. Also, knowing where the encounters is going to be extremely helpful. That's not always possible because there are random encounters, but most dungeons aren't going to have those. So as long as you know where the encounters are, you'll be able to plan accordingly for them and be able to handle them fairly easily. Sometimes this guy here can be a restless. So we got lucky there, he is not. Grab this here. And continue on our way. Grab these glowing mushrooms here. Very useful ingredient to have. Like I said, we're not going to focus alchemy, but we are going to have certain potions that will help us. Glowing mushrooms, you mix these with nightshade, which we have picked up a couple of those as well. And that is a fortified destruction potion, which will make your destruction spells do more damage and have a longer range. This, the fortified destruction spells, or fortified destruction potions, really help with cloak spells. It increases the range of your cloak spells, which makes your cloak spells be able to do more, and it really is, it's really cool to watch. So grab those because they are very much useful later on. Got to make sure that you don't like target out of range. There is a specified range of how far you can summon a creature. If the reticle is white, it's safe. If the reticle is red, you cannot summon that far away, so it just fails the spell. Now, there is I don't know if it's a bug or a glitch or if it's actually the way that it's supposed to be done. If you use a conjuration staff to summon an Atronach, it actually increases the range of how far you can summon that Atronach by like 5. It's a massive, massive range. Even with the skill that allows you to summon Atronachs twice as far away, does not give you as far of a summoning radius as the staff does. Which is why we picked up the brooms. We are actually going to get a Atronach summoning staff fairly early. Actually, we're probably going to get one of each element to keep on us, depending on the matchup that we're going up against. Like, for example, against Draugrs, like we're fighting now, we would want to use a fire Atronach because they are weaker to fire damage. Against dark elves and like melee based opponents, you'll probably want to use a frost Atronach because that frost will slow them and also damage their stamina. And against all else, dragons, mages, all of those, you're going to want to use the storm Atronach, because their electrical damage will also damage their magicka regen, as well as their total magicka pool. This is a restless Draugr. This is always a restless Draugr, even if you're level like 1. Now, if you're higher levels, it can be a Draugr White or a Death Lord. So you got to be extremely careful about this guy because he's always going to be leveled to kick your butt. We can go ahead and take it. Yeah, we're still decent on our carry weight here. All right. We got to prepare for this, but we've got to be able to run through these first. And then as soon as we get onto the other side, we are going to summon our Atronach and our bound sword, because there are going to be guys here to fight. We didn't get that Atronach down in time. This cold potion. Oh. Interrupt his power attack so he doesn't sweep us with one hit. Ouchie. That archer is nothing to laugh at, dude. He hurts. We should be able to get him right here. There we go. Three guys, fairly dangerous. Okay. And now we just have one more enemy that we have to fight. But we don't have to fight him right away. We've got some things we can do first. The lore on these walls are really cool. This actually, it kind of explains that lore that I was mentioning before. So here you've got the dragon priests, and kind of showing how they are ruling over top of the people. However, when the cult was destroyed, or sorry, let's change that. So first, here you've got the rulers, and how they are in charge of the people. Those rulers eventually become dragon priests, and they are in charge of humanity in place of the dragons. The dragons are the ultimate rulers, and then these guys rule under through them. So they're kind of like the generals. However, eventually the cult was overthrown, and then that's when the dragon priests came up with the ability to have their people give their life force to continue allowing these dragon priests to basically have immortality. They turn themselves into lich, and then those lich will basically are waiting for the dragons to return so that they can resurrect themselves and then serve the dragons again. This particular Draugr that we're getting ready to fight right now, he was put in place. Oh, that was weird. He was put in place to guard the Dragonstone, which is a stone that had a map of the burial sites of the dragons. After the dragons were killed, since there was no one to absorb their souls, their bodies were laid to rest where they were in burial mounds. And this was basically, they knew eventually the dragons would come back, so they had a stone carved with the locations of where the dragon mounds are at, so that when they do come back, they can just find them and then start being their servants again. There's a hidden chest over there, as well as there is another hidden chest over here. This one over here typically just has some chump change, so we'll grab it real fast. Nothing crazy. The main chest, the one that has the main stuff that we're looking for, is in here. I don't think the Dragonstone's in here. I think this is on... Yeah, the Dragonstone is on the Draugr guard. Where'd Faendal go? We need him. We are now overweight. Hello? Faendal. Let's look at our things here. Let's see what we can drop. We've got the Orcish Warhammer of Wariness. Drop the steel arrow. We need to drop 6 pounds. Let's drop 1, 2. Oh, that's plenty right there. At least until we get the Dragonstone. Alright, we've got a word of power here. These are words inscribed onto little things here, and they are written in the dragon language, and they are inscribed with what's called intent. So whoever inscribed that word inscribed it with the intent of force, or fus. And so that residual intent is left, allowing you to learn the word after it's been there for a while. You're able to learn the word from that. Oh! You gotta be super careful there. That hurt. Holy cow, that hurt. And there's the Dragonstone. Okay, now we have too much. There's Faendal. Come here, buddy.
I'm right behind you. What do you want me to carry?
Okay, so we will give him this, this. These. Keep those. Okay, that's enough that we'll give him for now. Okay.
Lead on.
All right. So just because we've learned that word of power, it does not mean that we can use it yet. All words of power are in the dragon language are shouts, and actually every word in the dragon language can be turned into a shout, as far as I understand. However, the defined shouts for Skyrim are based off of specific words of power. Force, is one of those words of power that allows you to unlock the unrelenting force shout, which allows you to shout and push back your enemies in a cone in front of you. So you shout at them and they get pushed back. When you have all three words in the shout, the amount of force added into that push is even greater. So we are going to hop down here, and I think before we go back to Farengar with the Dragonstone, I think that's what we'll do at the beginning of the next video. I think we're going to make a pit stop here at Anise's cabin and unlock her the area where we can disenchant this stuff so that we're not carting it all the way back to Whiterun. However, when we do this, she is going to immediately aggro on us as soon as we come back up from her basement. And I'll show you why.
I'm just a poor old woman, dear. No need to trouble yourself with me.
Poor old woman, huh? You lockpick your way into her cellar. She says she's a poor old woman, but if you come over to here and read this, Anise's letter. Helgi dear, why do you hesitate? You can feel the power coursing in your blood. You have only to reach out and grasp it. Renounce that boy of yours and come. Come live with me in the forest. My sister will be here soon. Together we can form a proper coven, and your training will truly begin. So, basically, she is a witch that will eventually, basically what she's trying to do is form a coven of hag ravens, which is extremely dangerous monsters, and being that she's in this close proximity.
You're not supposed to be in here.
What?
You're not supposed to be in here.
He's never done that before. Okay. Okay, now we're out. She is going to be immediately hostile to us, so we are going to be prepared to fight her. See? There she goes. She goes, none may know her secret, that she is... Now, I don't know if that secret is the fact that she's a witch, that she's a like she has magic, or if it's just the fact of she doesn't want anybody to know that she's going to be a hag raven, or that she's trying to form a coven.
I'm right behind you.
Okay, now let's trade some things in with him. there may actually be a hidden, like, a hidden piece that I don't know about that actually made it to where, like, him and her were, like, friends or something. I don't know. That may be something, that reason why he wouldn't allow me to take the stuff out of his inventory. I've never had that happen before. So we will give him one of the studded armors. The hide bracers. Hide boots. And the hide helmet.
Lead on.
Okay. I know I'm moving a little slow here, but we're going to go ahead and hop down here. And this is the closest enchanting table to Riverwood. And since we're going to be doing a lot of work around this area over the next couple videos, it's good to have access to this. There we go. That gets our enchanting. We do have a filled petty soul gem. It's not really worth it for using, though. And now that Anise is dead, we should be able to, yep, use her bed. Get the level up. Oh, 2 levels. 2 level ups. We're gonna put... Summoner can summon Atronach or raise undead twice as far away. And we can get Soul Stealer. Let's get Apprentice Conjuration. That way our Flame Atronach costs less magicka to summon. That looks like, yep, I thought so. Oh, he changed targets. We try to run him by Feindal to make him focus Feindal. He's not taking it. There he goes. Oh, he switched back to me again. Okay. So yeah, we used Anise's cabin. We used it to get the level up as well as to grab or use the enchanting table. Now we're gonna go over here to Riverwood, and this is where we're gonna end it for the night over here. Riverwood. We'll be able to give the golden claw to Lucas, and then we can also sell off a bunch of the stuff that we picked up. We are going to wait to give him the claw, though, because if we give it to him right now, then we won't be able to sell to him at night anymore. So
I've been looking for you. Ah, looks like that's it. Got to go.
okay. Durac.
The Dawn Guard is looking for anyone willing to fight against the growing vampire menace. What do you say?
Killing vampires? Where do I sign up?
Isran's going to like you. Go talk to him at Fort Dawn Guard, southeast of Riften. He'll decide if you're Dawn Guard material.
We are going to fight the vampires eventually, but we're going to wait till we have all of our Dragon Priests, all the Dragon Priest masks, and get the Dragon Priest Konrik mask first. So first things first, let's rest, because Alvar's not out. We have to buy the room again. Oh, we can't, because Delphine's not here. That's unfortunate. We should be able to go and rest in Kurder's house, though. We have a key to her house from when we helped Rayloff.
I trust you're not planning any trouble. What can I do for you, friend?
No trouble, just need a quick nap. One more hour. And since this bed is not one that we own, or it's not a...
Here's to friendship. A gift. If you don't like it, too bad.
Well, I mean... Really? Tell me you're giving me a gift and friendship, but then you tell me to leave your house. Well, that's great.
Axe, and bring me all the wood you can chop.
Alright. So now, we should be able to sell to Alvar. Yep, there he is.
You looking to protect yourself, or deal some damage?
So let's sell him the stuff that we don't need to carry. I think we're okay now without the steel war axe. We've got the bound sword. Sell these things. You can also sell these things to Lucas, but if you're gonna... You might as well spread the gold selling around, that way you don't have to worry about not being able to sell as much. Come over here, talk to Lucas, or Lucan.
Find the claw, some may call this junk.
Go ahead and get all the money that you can out of him first. Keep the scrolls. We don't need this Blackbriar meat anymore. We're over level 9. Don't need the thief. Alright. Keep those for now. He's got 300 gold left. We're just going to keep the ones that we're for sure going to use. The fire salts will keep. Glowing mushroom will keep. Imstol will keep. Salt pile will keep. Alright, now you tell him that you have the golden claw.
I'm gonna put this back where it belongs. I'll never forget this. You've done a great thing for me and my sister.
And he gives us 600 gold. Now, the reason why I'm putting up the Fury spell here, there is a chance that we walk out this door and we will have to fight hired thugs. Since we took out Anise's, or because we killed Anise in her cabin and broke into her house, her coven sister will be extremely ticked off. So thankfully no hired thugs yet, so we don't have to worry about it for now. Cool. Alright, yeah, so that's where we're going to end it. Thank you for joining me today, guys. Again, like I said before, let's see if it's up even farther now. Let me look at this real fast. Let's do this, do that. Yeah, we're up to 85. So I mean, 85 views on my last video. It's going to continue to go up. So thank you guys again for your support. If you guys are enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. Want to see more content coming. We are going to call it for tonight. And in the next video, we will be finally unlocking the shouts with taking out the dragon right over here. And then we'll probably make our way up to High Hrothgar. I want to get the first kind of the first work done. So we'll go up to High Hrothgar probably in the next video. Depending on the timing for that, we may end up going and getting the Horn of Jorgen Windcaller. As long as that video is not like crazy super long, we may put it off until the video after for the next, if the video gets to be too long. Once we get the Horn of Jorgen Windcaller, then we'll come back here, get the final shout of Unrelenting Force, and that will kind of leave us alone for a little while on the main quest line. Then we'll be able to start branching out. We will come over here. We will start the College of Winterhold quest line. Eventually work our way into the Companions Guild. And then eventually possibly into the Thieves Guild as well. Or we will be going into the Thieves Guild, but that's all going to be kind of later on down the line. So thank you again, and I hope you guys are having a excellent weekend. Again, if you like the content, please like and subscribe, support me, and help me keep the channel growing. Thank you so much, and see you later.